Stop wholesaling on hard mode. If you've ever played hard mode on a video game or anything like that, that is what you're doing in wholesaling. You are on maximal difficulty with none of the reward, because the truth is when you play hard mode on a video game, at least you get a reward or something cool with it. In wholesaling, you're just doing everything hard and difficult and you're not making any money. If you're somebody that says, Zach, I can't get enough leads. I try so hard on wholesaling and I can't get any deals. There's just no good leads. There's no buyers. My market sucks. Or my favorite, my market or wholesaling is too saturated. Ho, ho, ho. Wow. If you are telling me any of these things, you are just putting a mental roadblock on yourself. But honestly, the way you're wholesaling is just on hard mode. So what I'm going to do is change the difficulty settings on your wholesaling game so you could actually play it on easy mode, so you have a ton of lead flow, you sell your deals easy, and yeah, even if you're broke, you're gonna get wholesaling real estate deals right now, no problem at all. I hate to see you guys struggle, and the truth of why you're struggling is not because you don't want it enough or you're just a sissy. No, the reason is I don't think you have the right knowledge, and this is why you're watching this on YouTube. This is why you're watching this video, so you get the knowledge. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the leads problem. I think this is the biggest reason why people are wholesaling on hard mode, because not to sound like a jerk, but buyers are the easiest problem to solve. So we'll bring that one last. And there's some other issues in between why wholesaling is difficult for you, but I think the one we need to address starting out is this whole leads issue. More specifically, why you can't get any good leads. Now, the truth of why you can't get any good leads right now is because you do not have a quantity problem, you have a quality problem. See, a lot of people think if they just ram 2,000 or 3,000 texts on the worst type of sellers or lists, that they're bound to get a deal. And that's cool and all, but if you try to find the desert in the ocean, I don't care how much ocean you find, you ain't gonna find much. And you go to the Middle East, you're gonna find it everywhere. So the real big thing we need to start solving like right now are gonna be your quality issue. Now, there are some people that, yes, quantity is the issue, and we'll talk about this next, but most likely it's quality. So if you're talking to me and you're struggling to get good leads, or there's no good leads, or my favorite, wholesaling is too saturated, let me ask you a question. Are you pulling government lists by chance? Now, if you gotta ask yourself, what's a government list? Well, welcome to this YouTube channel. My name's Zach Ginn. This is Flip with Rick. And I know you haven't been through this channel enough because this is the #1 list that we tell everyone to do. The cool part is nobody else on YouTube talks about this list. So more for you guys. But this is a list. You see this book right here, How Real Estate Fortunes Are Made by George Bockel. This is a book from 1972 talking about ways to find real estate deals. Government lists. They're in here. Look how old this book is. This book is over 50 years old talking about these strategies. Here's one of my other classic favorites, How to Stop Foreclosure by Hal Morris. This is a real estate and creative finance book from 1983. Talking about finding deals, cash flowing deals, creative financing, and subject to systems. These are simple real estate investing concepts that people have been using for over 50 years to find wholesaling deals. And this is just lists that pull up from the government. So the government actually gets data on really distressed property sellers and distressed homeowners. And since it's government data, we are actually allowed to get that information. There's a little old law called the Freedom of Information Act, which allows us to get this data freely. Now, this isn't CIA, government, military secret documents, right? This is just who's on the code violation list, who's in a foreclosure, who's not. And I easily teach on this YouTube channel how to pull these lists. Now, if you want to go even more in depth, I have a free community and a free course where I show exactly all this stuff. And you might be like, oh, this is where Zach sells me. I have no paid course. All my information in wholesaling real estate is 100% free. I just have it there because YouTube doesn't like me showing some of the private information. But government lists, code violations, fire damaged properties, water shutoffs, arrest records, liens, tax delinquencies. We can go on and on about this. Just search government lists space Flip with Rick. You're going to find a million videos from us. But the thing is, if you aren't pulling those type of lists, yes, they're a little more difficult to pull. They might take an hour to get 200 or 300 of these. But the reason why I want you to do it is they're actually the highest quality. Because most wholesalers aren't going after these lists, when you call 300, 400, 500 of them, you're going to get a deal versus you going after just a standard lead list, like a high equity where you're going to have to call 5,000 or 6,000 to get a deal. Now, don't get me wrong. I love X Leads. It is the greatest wholesaling software ever. But if you just go get X Leads and you pull a high equity list in Miami, you're going to struggle a lot more than if you just pull a pre-foreclosure list and try to text those leads. Now, the reason you need X leads is for the unlimited free skip trace. You can upload a government list inside of X leads and then have it skip traced and boom, you're good to go. That's why you need X leads too. But just don't go in there and pull a regular list or any other software list. Use the government data. Next here, drawing for dollars. Are you drawing for dollars? If you are locally wholesaling and you're not drawing for dollars, what are you doing, man? You are literally leaving money on the table every single day. This is a list that you just can't go buy. The government doesn't have it. We call these earned lists. This is super high quality because you can get an ugly house that nobody else knows about. That's how you get the deal. If you want to go even crazier, if you find an ugly house drawing for dollars, put a sticky note on that house. Put it right there on the door. Say, hey, this is Zach, or your name. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. I promise you, I am begging you. Drive for dollars and do sticky notes. We call this reverse drawing for dollars. And then lastly here, like we're talking about quality. If you are not posting at least 60 digital bandit signs a month, that's 2 a day, you do not have a saturation problem. You do not have a lead quality problem. I don't want to hear you say, oh, I can't find any leads. If you are not posting digital bandit signs, right? I have the Digital Bandit Sign Academy. That is my free digital bandit sign course inside of freewholesaling.com, my free course. It's a course within the course, right? I have all these courses inside of the free community, right? It's called the Digital Bandit Sign Academy. I actually show you how to post in Craigslist and Facebook groups for free. There's no paywall for you to get wholesaling deals. You can even use AI and it takes a minute a day to make those 2 posts. What are you waiting for? Now, talking about quality too, stop pounding these low quality leads. So if you just do a standard high equity list or just like all the vacants in the city, right? That's great for massive direct mail, massive texting. If I got my big VAs right, yeah, awesome. But for a very niched out wholesaler that maybe only has 5-10 hours a week at most of marketing, it's not going to be the best thing for you. Now, if you are going to use a service like X Leads, right? And you're going to pull a list and maybe you're doing high quality, so you're using Ninja Mode instead of X Leads and you're sending 30,000 texts a month, you could still benefit from increasing your quality. For example, don't go into X Leads and just pull high equity. What I'd rather you do is get very specific on the filters. It's going to weed out a lot of the bad data. So I put a minimum on my filtering on X Leads, 3 years of ownership. So make sure the property's been owned by that owner for at least 3 years. I want at least 55% equity, so I max out LTV at 45%. And then I don't want the property to be more than $500,000 if that is the average house in the market. So in Port St. Louis, the average house is like $450,000. That's my personal market. I don't want a house more than $500,000 unless it's multifamily, right? And then I want to exclude LLC owners. That is going to cut down your list by maybe 15, 20%. And then the last thing I do is I go to the exclude tab and I exclude active investor owned properties. So it's kind of a secret list we have inside of X Leads, but it gets rid of anyone that owns a lot of properties and active real estate investors like me. Then from there, if you're doing your big SMS, your big cold calling, your big direct mail, you're gonna have the best data possible. And don't get me even started on what I call skip tracing jail. And what I mean by this is if you're not using X Leads for your free unlimited skip tracing, and I'm not trying to make this an X Leads promo, but like, hear me out, you are going to be caught up in skip tracing jail, which means either if you want to send 10,000 texts in the next 30 days, if you use any other software, right, you're going to have to pay 10, 12 cents per record. And that's going to be $1,200 of skip tracing, which for $49 a month at X Leads, you can get 15,000 records like that every single month. And, or you can get really bad skip tracing. There's other skip tracing providers out here in lists. They have free unlimited, but they're really, really low quality. And you're going to just waste your time and lose out on deals. And probably the worst part is when you have no money, you can't even afford X Leads, which is not a problem, by the way. You can't really do more than 500 or 1,000 calls in the month because you have to go to a free site like True People Search and cyberbackgroundchecks.com, which I love those websites for skip tracing. But you got to remember, if you're going to do 1,000, you're going to have to copy the owner, paste the address, get the information, put it into Google Sheets, then copy the information, paste it, copy, paste, copy. And it's going to take 30, 40 hours to do that when you can just upload the list in X Leads and boom, get it done right there. So don't be caught up in skip tracing jail where you have to spend 30 hours doing it all yourself, or you have to spend $1,200. A lot of people think those are my only 2 options. You can use X Leads, which is the best solution for it. But please, please remember, you don't need a software. I have the best software, it's X Leads, but you don't really need one. You could still drive for dollars, put sticky notes out there, do digital bandit signs, and call less than 1,000 leads a month, and you're gonna be fine. I just see people lose thousands of dollars paying for individual skip traces and they think that that's the reason why they failed. There's just a better way. Now, the other problem I think a lot of wholesalers have is what I call a time problem. So we have a really bad problem with people my age, right? People 25 and younger with their time. They are all chronically addicted to their phones. And the one thing when somebody tells me that they're just struggling in wholesaling and they can never get ahead and they have no good leads and they can't have success and the business sucks for them, I asked them one simple question. How many hours have you put into wholesaling? And they love to give me answers. Like, Zach, I only have 5 hours a week I can give. I say, perfect. It's great to hear. The reason that I'm asking you only have 5 hours. Let me ask you another question. Do you have an iPhone? Yeah, I have an iPhone. Can you pull up your settings and show me your screen time? What? Yeah, go to settings right now and tell me what is your screen time for the month? Now, magically, the answer is always, screen time, I don't have it on my phone. Oh, so Apple just did an update where they deleted screen time from everyone? Most people have screen time on their phones, and every single iPhone has screen time. And I love magically everyone tells me that there's just no screen time on their phone and it just magically went away. When the truth is, I don't want to show you that I spend 12 hours a day watching cat videos on TikTok. The thing is, extreme accountability and the numbers and the facts never lie in this business. If you're spending 12 hours a day on TikTok, looking at people shake their butt on the internet, it's going to show on screen time how many hours you spent doing it. First of all, that's weird. Second, if you spent maybe half that time cold calling, you can actually get some deals. Now, there is a solution to this problem and nobody wants to hear me out on it. And it's going to take a lot of hard mental fortitude to do it. But this is really controversial, but I think if you're under the age of 25 and you're serious about making money, this is something you should do. I'm not asking you to cut off your fingers, but just do this. Go to your phone. Do you see how it's black and white? I want you to go to your settings right now. And if you don't know how to do it, just follow me. Go to your settings, go to accessibility, scroll down to where it says display and text size, go down to color filters, turn it on and put grayscale on. What this is going to do is put a black and white filter on your phone. Now, I have not invented this method. I've seen a lot of people our age do this that are actually successful. What it does is it makes being on your phone less fun. And that is the point. You're not going to be scrolling on Instagram for 2 or 3 hours if it's black and white. You don't really want to be on your phone unless you have to be on your phone. You have to text somebody, call somebody. Now, I feel bad for anyone that's colorblind because it's like, whoa, once you start doing it, you're like, your screen time gets cut in half because you don't look at random videos anymore. It's just less enjoyable. So one thing I could tell you is if you do that, you're going to spend less time on your phone. When you spend less time on your phone, you're going to use that more towards wholesaling houses. And I know this is crazy, but if your screen time on your phone is over 4 hours a day, which is excessive in my opinion, it really should be 2 or 3, you need to put this filter on. And turn it off when you look at a Zach Ginn. Now turn it back on when you look at a Flip with Rick YouTube video maybe, but maybe you just watch it on your TV or your computer. But I promise you're going to spend less time on your phone. And that in turn is going to give you more time towards wholesaling. I know this is excessive for me to say, but it's one of the best ways to create time. And time equals money. Now, there's a lot of different wholesalers watching this video. There are wholesalers who are all the way at the $0 a month budget. And then we have wholesalers who are spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month in wholesaling, right? We got a big following here at Flip with Rick. And what I want to do is really share the 5 phases of wholesaling and how you should be spending your money wisely. Because I think a lot of people don't know the proper ways to be doing things. So if you have no money, right, like absolute zero budget, you do not need a software. You just got to use government lists and start marketing, calling, texting, the standard stuff. Once you get to phase 2, or if you have a full-time job and you want to throw at least $100 a month, maybe $200 a month, and get a little bit of tools to make it a little easier so you don't have to manually skip trace, get a tool like XLeads or any other wholesaling software, it doesn't really matter. Just get at least something to get your skip tracing on point, and you can have like a drawing for dollars up, stuff like that. That for $100 to $200 a month is going to be your best return on time and return on investment. Then from there, also in phase 2, you're going to find about a 30x return on your spend. Which means if you invest $100 a month, $200 a month, you should be able to make at least 10 grand a month from that investment of $100 to $200 a month. Now, the more money we spend, our ROS, or maybe our ROAS, our ROAS, our return on ad spend, right? That's like a general like business term. The return we get on the spend usually goes down. So the next phase is like getting VAs to do the calling and the texting for us. which I share a lot in scaling on this channel, you should expect around a 10x return on ad spend, which is actually insane. No one else in wholesaling really hits those numbers on the other types. So definitely 10x is where you should be at. Now, once you start getting in like, hey, I'm doing 5, 6, 7 deals a month, I need to scale this thing up. Then we're gonna start getting into direct mail, right? We can't do any more texting, we can't do any more calling, we're just pushing like crazy. We're gonna start getting into direct mail, and direct mail is the best one. It's gonna be about a 5x return on ad spend, but it's a lot easier. You pull this, spend the mail, and boom, you're good to go. Now, this is for a ROS postcard, which we teach in Wholesaling.com about, but that's about a 5x return on ad spend. Now, there are like the phase 5, if you want to just expand that even more, and direct mail, it's pretty much the end game for it, right? That's where me and Rick are at. You can do other types of strategies. I have never found a good return on ad spend on the other ones, but I will tell you on average, the other leads, TV, radio, billboards, paid spokesman, or whatever you want to call it, right? Those are going to be anywhere between a 1.5 and 2x return on ad spend. Now, there are other wholesalers that do other strategies. The other ones are what I call internet leads, which aren't inherently terrible, by the way, right? This is going to be PPL pay per lead. This is going to be PPC, which I think's the best one out of any of them. And then SEO is a great one. And then we got Facebook ads, right? What I have found on average is a 2 to 3x return on ad spend with those strategies. Now, if you're really, really good at PPC, you could probably push that to like 5 maybe, but that's if you're doing it yourself without paying a crazy agency, because you got to cut that in half. Now, as of this recording, PPL leads is about 1 out of 30, and the average PPL lead is about $350 a lead. So you're ranging anywhere between $9,000, $10,000, $11,000 for a contract, which really kind of throws you off. So the return on ad spend is really not there. And you could say, well, what if I get like a $40 lead, or like those are just recycled leads you can buy? Yeah, but you're going to need like 50 or 60 of those. They fall through all the time because they're being bought 15, 20 times. Not really the best thing for you. So PPL is the worst one out of all of them. So really, if you're gonna go internet leads, I'd go PPC and Facebook ads, but probably PPC SEO if you can get it right. But those are the best ways to be going into this business. Just understand that anybody else who's telling you that there's a new secret strategy, I've seen it all. I've talked to all these different people. There's really not any good ones outside of these. Now, the next part of why I think wholesalers are in hard mode is some of you guys listen to some crazy people that tell you that wholesaling is illegal. Now, there are certain laws and regulations on some types of wholesaling, but let me be completely frank with you. If you think it is illegal to cold call or text sellers using X leads or using just your own phone with truepeoplesearch.com, let me clear the air right now. If you are a realtor, a real estate agent that is licensed, it is 100% illegal to call someone on the DNC list. Those people are right, and those people think that everyone has a real estate license. I've seen people on the internet tell you that wholesaling is illegal for cold calling, but the truth is that's somebody who has a license. So yeah, if you're like me and most people watching this, you don't have a real estate license. So there is something called TCPA, which stands for the Telephone Communication Protections Act of 1991, or maybe 1992. And basically what it did was create the DNC list. So it made it illegal to telemarket on the DNC list. Now, what nobody wants to tell you is the DNC list has exceptions. And the biggest exemption is if you're not telemarketing somebody, they can't sue you for breaking the DNC. Now, not a lot of people believed me when I started out talking about this in 2018, 2019, but after 2020, we've had buckets of case law, of actual judges dismissing so many lawsuits stating that no, it is completely legal to ask somebody if they're interested in selling the property on a cold call if they're not a real estate agent. The thing is, because the definition according to the FCC, the actual enforcers of the DNC law, have shown that if you're not promoting a good or service, that is not the definition of telemarketing according to the FCC. Now, the fun part about that is I'm not selling a good or service. I'm trying to give you money. I'm trying to give you cash. I'm just asking if you're interested in selling the property. Now, the thing is, many courts have shown that if you are a realtor, you theoretically could sell a real estate service. This is why realtors don't cold call high equities, because they're technically selling a service, which is against the DNC law. But us wholesalers have this awesome loophole, and plenty of judges have also shown that this is legal. Heck, it's not a loophole. It's just the law. And if you want to go even crazier and say, Zach, you're an idiot, you know nothing about this. Well, I've shown on this channel on Wholesaling.com plenty of case law showing this is legal. Now, if you want to show me more than one case of somebody who is not licensed, who cold called, and they lost their DNC case and it was clear and cut, there's no licensure involved, they didn't use any auto dialer, they didn't use anything illegal, please show me. On top of this, I've also challenged anybody on YouTube, any of the haters in the comments, this. Everyone tells me that wholesaling is illegal in all these states. One example last year was people have told me wholesaling is illegal in South Carolina. I've shown time and time again on this YouTube channel where it's completely legal, and the state of South Carolina actually showed that it was legal to do assignment of contracts, which is insane to me. What I did was I did 5 wholesaling deals in the state of South Carolina. I showed the checks, I showed everything, and I had my lawyer do all the title and paperwork. And all my lawyers still back me up and say wholesaling is legal in South Carolina. Can somebody show me in a state where wholesaling is considered illegal that they ever got in trouble or someone talked to them and said, you can't do this anymore? In 2025, I haven't found one person who is not a real estate agent get busted for wholesaling in a state that was illegal. Even in Illinois, I have plenty of people and friends that are closing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month without a real estate license. And because the laws are so vague, the title companies don't care anymore. And I'm not saying this as legal advice, right? Just guys, can somebody show me somebody who's gotten in trouble for doing this? Because these laws aren't really enforceable, in my opinion. I haven't seen one person being enforced. And as somebody that does thousands and thousands of wholesaling deals, I haven't seen one person go after me, and I've done deals in 48 states. So I'm of the attitude, if you haven't shown me evidence, then it's not real, especially when it comes to wholesaling. So if you tell me wholesaling is illegal in a state, can you show me somebody get in trouble for wholesaling in the state? No. Okay. Can you show me somebody who got actually sued and lost a lawsuit for DNC that wasn't a real estate agent? Can't find it. The only people that do get sued for cold calling are real estate agents, because it is breaking the law. If you're not, you're good to go. Now let's talk about the other thing, which is what I call lead flow. I see a lot of wholesalers struggle and they say they can't get enough leads and there's a lead flow problem, right? We already talked about quality, quantity. But another thing I want everyone to do is just do JV deals. I'm not even joking. Even if you're a brand new beginner, the best way to get JV deals is just to network with other people. I have the largest wholesaling Discord in the entire country called ZachDiscord.com. I also have the largest wholesaling community in the country, freewholesaling.com. It's also the free course. It's also the largest wholesaling course in the country too, by the way, because it's completely free. And the thing is, you have hundreds of thousands of wholesalers throughout my Facebook group and the Discord and the community that you can talk to. You can talk to hundreds of thousands of wholesalers looking to join for free. And so if you just connect with other people and talk with them, I promise you, you're going to get inbound leads. You're going to get wholesaling deals. You're going to get people sending you deals, and you're just going to get tons of leads. There are wholesalers that make millions of dollars and all they do is JV. And if you're struggling for knowledge, just join the free community, talk to a bunch of people on our weekly chats. And here's the thing, there are wholesalers making 6-7 figures every single year in these Discord calls that we do every single day. And they do it without me, right? There's probably, as of this recording, 8 people in the lounge in the Discord that probably made at least 50 grand this year already. And you could just be in a room with them talking for free, right? This is the benefit of my community. And so if you're struggling, learn, earn, and just get in front of these people and really just get inbound leads, and you're going to become successful. So if you can check out my communities, right? I got ZachDiscord.com, I got freewholesaling.com, and of course, the comments in this video and the live streams I do. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe too, by the way, just a quick note. Now, the next part's the easiest one, but this is buyers. If you are struggling to dispo deals, there's only 5 reasons why you can't sell a wholesaling deal. Number 1, you have a lack of buyers. It's pretty obvious. Number 2, you locked up the deal for too high. We're gonna have to get that reduced. 3, we have a lack of JVs, so you don't know enough people, which I already showed you in the communities. You can have plenty of people, and also I'll JV the deal with you. Come on. 4, knowledge. So why do you have a lack of buyers? Most likely because you haven't done enough volume, or maybe you're in the wrong market, but you probably don't have the right knowledge, right? You don't know how to find buyers, right? So you can use Zillow, which is free. Go to the for rent section, people renting out properties. Say, hey, I'm not looking to rent out your property, seeing if you're looking to buy any more rentals. You can go in Facebook groups and use our scripts in freewholesaling.com and how to get inbound buyer leads. Or number 5, you just don't have a disposition software, which I tell everyone to use X Leads. It's the top disposition software in the country. You can list your deals, post your deals, the buyers are all skip traced in there, and you do your marketing there. But really, buyers are simple. Pump up the volume, get your knowledge around how to find buyers for free, or pay for disposition software like X Leads. But if you make these changes that I just told you, right? Upping the quality of your leads, doing government lists, drawing for dollars, digital bandit signs, getting the right filters inside of XLeads or any other software you're using, right? You're getting the right skip tracing. You're scheduling your time. You put your phone on black and white. You stop wasting your money. You understand that wholesaling is legal if you're not a realtor. You start connecting and JVing with everyone in the community, hundreds of thousands of wholesalers, and you start getting your knowledge up and getting the right buyers. Wholesaling goes from hard mode all the way down to easy mode because it's a consistent, repeatable business that is going to land you success in wholesaling real estate. Guys, if 2025 is your year and you're ready to go from hard to easy in wholesaling real estate, comment below that you are ready to become a success. And like always, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.